So today we are here at the Chicago Pipe Show, wrapping up the last day, and we're here with Mr. Georg Jensen, that is the master blender for McBaron Tobaccos, yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you so much for doing this. We really do appreciate it.
My pleasure.
We were wondering if you could maybe tell us a little bit about how you got involved with the McBaron Company and what your responsibilities that you do there.
That's a very easy answer.
Okay.
By mistake. I was not into the product development, but the first 3 years I worked for McBaron, I constantly heard your tobaccos are biting and you can't make a proper English. So every time I went to product development and just started with the guy over there and start developing a new blend. And the blend was ready in 2005 and it was launched in 2006 because we didn't have any other new blends to launch. So they had to. And the blend's name was HH Vintage Syrian.
So you're responsible for the HH
Yes,
line.
I'm sorry, I'm guilty.
No, it's my favorites. That's what HH Latakia is absolutely one of my favorite smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, I know that the Sutliff company is under the McBaron Corporation.
Yes.
And so you have a little bit of involvement in what goes on at the Sutliff company, particularly with your new blend, Uno.
With the Uno, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
could you tell us a little bit of how, what happened to get that going and how you came up with that blend?
Yeah. How much time do you have?
We got all the time you
Okay.
want.
No, that was actually a challenge from Jeremy McKenna, of the CEO of Sutliff. He said, come over here and make some blends. We'll make some small batches and we'll put it on the market and just come over here. So I went over there in January, beginning of January. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. The briefing was not that clear. So when I arrived at Sutliff the Monday morning, in the conference room, the whole table was filled with tobaccos. I knew some of them because they were McBaron tobaccos, but the most of them I didn't know. And their product, the head of the production, Jonathan Wood, had been screaming in the telephone about this new fantastic tobacco they had, the Catarini Perique. And I said, Perique? I never heard Catarini Perique, what it was. But I experienced that, and it's quite a unique tobacco. And that is also what is in the Uno. Catarini Perique, normally when you smoke Perique, it's peppery, it's spicy, it's strong. The Catarini Perique is not, because there is a big difference when you make the process. Normal St. James Perique is burly, and it makes a very powerful tobacco. Catarini is an Oriental, meaning it's sun-dried for 5 days, then it's dried, and then it undergoes the Perique process. So, when it's dried that quick, it's like a flue-cured Virginia. It contains natural sugar. And the sugar, in combination with this process of making Perique, turned it into, I would say, a very mild version. But it didn't go peppery, it went fruity, raisins, dark berries, in that direction. And it can only say it was an honor to work with something that I never heard of. And I think nobody else. Well, a few guys at the Richmond show the year before got some samples, but not produced any tobacco out of it.
Interesting. So are those all Sutliff tobaccos in there, or are there some McBaron?
There's one McBaron tobacco in it, but the rest is Sutliff.
What does it contain? What does this blend have in it?
We have original St. James Parish, meaning the barley grew in St. James Parish and was made into Parish. We have the Catarina Parish. We have red Virginias. We have bright Virginias, and it's very important to differ between the two. Red Virginia gives a lot of taste, a lot of flavor. The bright Virginia is just there, fulfilling their role is just being there. Then we have some dark-fired Kentucky for balance, the blend, and we have some Virginia Cavendish. And the Virginia Cavendish and the Parish play beautiful together because they are both a little bit sour. The dark-fired Kentucky support the Latakia that is in, but it's only a small piece of Latakia, what I mixed in.
I read somewhere, did you do something to the Latakia to maybe alter its strength or its flavor profile?
No.
So because I thought someone had mentioned that it was an attempt to try to make it like the Syrian.
No. That's rumors.
Okay.
Because you cannot take a Latakia of Cyprus and try to make it into a Syrian Latakia. It's impossible.
Okay. So the Latakia content is probably the smallest in there?
It's the smallest, but it plays its role.
Uh-huh.
You get this whiff of a little bit smokiness. You get a little bit sour, a little bit pepperish from the St. James Parish. You got the berries, the raisins from the Catarina. And you got the Virginia, this grassy hay, citrus from red Virginia, from bright Virginia. And then I got the two supporting rows, the Virginia Cavendish and the dark-fired Kentucky.
So from a Virginia plant, where do the reds come from in comparison to where the brights come from? Like one of them is at the upper part of the plant and the other is at the lower part. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, red Virginia is, you could also call it this overripe Virginia. It sits on the plant for a few more days after it's ripe. And to see if a Virginia is ripe, it's very easy. Because you have the leaves standing out of the stem like this, and then one day, boop, and then it's ripe.
Okay.
So then you leave it on the plant, and let it sit there. And it converts a bit of the sugar into oils, and that is where this red Virginia flavor comes from. So it's actually an overripe Virginia.
Now the Uno, this is the first of a few that are going to be coming out, right?
Yeah, I was so much out of my comfort zone. Because normally when we make a new tobacco, we got half a year, a whole year, doesn't matter. We have the time we need. And this was 6 blends in 4 days. So it was a bit like you have the television here in the United States where a chef comes into a home of a celebrity, opens the fridge, see what's in it, and then you have to cook something delicious out of that.
And create something, yes.
That was me on the Monday morning. Here is what you got, and now you have to make 6 blends. It was a challenge, but a funny challenge.
Yeah.
And it's 6 completely different tobaccos. So the next one will not be like the Uno. It's going to be completely different.
What is the next blend?
I would answer you if I knew. Because there have been some changes in the launch. But this one was the first. 5 more is coming. They're coming with 3-month intervals. So the next one will be out in, I suggest,
And is the next one going to be called Dose?
No,
I think
No.
I think it has a bird.
It's a bird.
A bird.
Because the whole series is called Birds of a Feather.
Okay. How did that come about?
That was the CEO, Jeremy,
Okay.
that came up with that.
And Uno is a type of bird, I guess? Or is
Uno,
that just stands for number one?
No, Uno is unique.
Okay.
It's the clever owl. So that was the name of it.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. So I saw a picture of you standing by a board and drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so how did that process, like, how do you decide whether it's going to be pressed or if it's going to be ribbon cut? Or how do you decide that?
We decided up front that everything we made was going to be a crumble cake.
Okay.
So it's going to be pressed, cut in thicker. We can have a look at the tobacco. It's rather big and thick pieces. Like this.
And that looks like a typical Sutliff
Yes.
crumble cake.
Yes. So it was actually a job. Normally I work for McBaron, but I was lended out to Sutliff to create this series.
Well, and because the HH flakes are very thin cut,
Yes,
very small.
that's traditional flakes.
Yes.
And flake you can fold and stuff, no problem. But this one is you cannot fold it.
Yeah, you have to rub it out.
That's why the name crumble cake comes.
Okay. When you first look at the ingredients, you think they just, there are 8 different tobaccos in there. You just like the kitchen sink. You just kind of put it, but everything works together in a very conscious way.
Yes.
It's very good the way all the tobaccos work together.
You have to think. It's a lot of tobaccos, but some of them I need to balance out the blend, so it's getting harmonious. If you make a traditional English blend, it's Virginia, it's Oriental, it's Latakia, and if you put in a lot of Latakia, you have it like in my face.
Very smoky, yeah.
Yes, that is not the way I blend. I prefer that it's balanced.
So is Uno something that is going to be regularly available, or is it just a one-time?
I would love to say yes, but we are out of Katerini Peric.
Okay, so if people want this and they find it, they need to pick it up.
Yeah, sure.
They need to get it.
That is made 5,000 cents, and that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Now, the other blends that you have coming out, what types are they? I mean, is there a vapor coming out? Is there a more traditional English? Or
Yeah, we said there are some special tobaccos that will be the guideline in all of the tobaccos. That is Peric, St. James Peric, it's Latakia, and it's Rustica. So one of the blends will come out with Rustica.
And that's a McBaron, right?
That is a McBaron, yes.
Yes.
Or
Because
at
I
least
remember that the McBaron put out the Rustica maybe, a year ago or
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah. That'll be interesting.
My face is green for over a year now.
Well, but you have to be smart when you smoke that,
But all 6 are different.
Yeah.
So
Very good.
because you like the one, perhaps you don't like the next.
Yeah.
But try out.
But the only way you'll know is to try it.
Yeah,
So yeah,
exactly.
You need to get
Exactly.
out there and try it.
So-
What? I'm
I'm sorry. So I have a question.
Sure.
So would you like to tell us a little bit about the Amphora Virginia? One of my favorite straight Virginia blends.
Yeah, we
The
just
underrated ones.
we just did an episode on the
Oh, really?
Amphora
With him?
original. No, not with
Oh,
him.
see?
But we want to get your opinion because Amphora is also a McBaron product. So you are very involved in the creation of Amphora,
I am so
and
so
it's
much
very
involved.
popular in Europe, isn't it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is, it is.
Yeah.
You know the full Amphora full and all the old Amphoras. And when we took over the blends in 2015 from Imperial, I said, well, we need to come with some clean blends. And the first one was the Amphora Virginia, which is 100% Virginia. And to balance it out, it's hot pressed. And in this hot press, we use half of the natural sugar. And it's a challenge. Try to get it to bite. There is no bite in that. You just get the full Virginia flavors.
So the grassy hay, the
Yeah.
little bit of tart citrus, maybe a little
Yeah.
bit. You get some sweetness from
Yeah.
it as well.
It's mixed from filler Virginia, from flavor Virginia, or flavor Virginia, that's what you call red Virginia, and some air cured Virginia. So it's 3 different Virginias in that.
And I see that we have the Virginia, the English, the Burley, and then there's the full and original.
Yes,
Cavendish.
and Kentucky.
And Kentucky. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dark-
And Black Cavendish. Yeah.
dark fired Kentucky, containing 60% dark fired Kentucky.
And I've seen this available on just about every online platform. Smoking pipes, tobacco pipes, Cup of Joe's, all of those
Yeah.
have it. It's very easy to get. It's very available.
Yes,
all
it
the
is.
time.
It is.
Yeah. So
But,
those
but,
are.
but
I-
you have a problem here in the United States because when you have a pouch, you think that is a drugstore tobacco.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're
and it's
right.
not. It's. I could put this tobacco in a tin and market it as a premium tobacco.
I think Amphora is one of the most underrated tobaccos out there, and I haven't tried one that I didn't like.
Okay.
I think it's wonderful. I think they're great.
And after we shut out here, you are welcome to try.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, thank you so much for coming and speaking with us today.
My pleasure.
I know that my subscribers, when we get to talk to someone that is prominent in the tobacco world, they always love to see that. So,
Yeah,
so
my
thank you-
pleasure.
Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this, guys.
Yep.